The reason most of your goals fail is because you're trying to build a house with only a hammer. You have the force, the drive, the will to begin, but that's only half of the creative circuit. An ancient principle of creation explains the missing half, the silent partner responsible for bringing every thought from the invisible world into your physical reality. And chances are, you've been accidentally fighting this partner your entire life, wondering why nothing ever grows. This principle is called the law of gender. The term can be misleading. It concerns the universal principles of energy, the two poles that must interact for anything to be born. These are the masculine and feminine principles, existing within every person and every particle of the universe. Understanding this dynamic is like finding the missing instruction manual for reality itself. The masculine principle is the hammer. It's the projective force. It is will, focus, and direction. Think of it as the spark of fire, the focused beam of a laser, the architect drawing a blueprint. It's the part of you that says, I will. It initiates, it gives the seed. This is the energy of setting a clear, defined goal. It cuts through ambiguity with a sharp edge of decision. But a blueprint on its own will never keep you warm. A seed by itself is just a dry pebble. It holds potential but zero power. For that, it needs its polar opposite. It needs a place to grow. This is where the feminine principle enters. It is the receptive force. It is the vast, quiet, nurturing power that takes the seed and gestates it into form. If the masculine is the spark, the feminine is the deep, dark ocean of potential. It is the fertile soil, the artist's canvas, the photographic film waiting in the darkroom. This principle operates in silence. It works in the subconscious, in the realm of feeling, faith, and intuition. It doesn't force, it allows. It doesn't analyze, it absorbs. The feminine is the womb of creation, where the abstract blueprint from the masculine mind is slowly, methodically woven into the fabric of reality. It takes the idea and gives it a body. It provides the substance, the nourishment, the environment for growth. This is the great secret. The masculine plants the seed of thought, but the feminine principle must accept it and incubate it for it to ever become a living reality. The problem is, we live in a world that worships the hammer. We celebrate action, force, and relentless doing. We have forgotten the power of the womb. We have forgotten how to receive. And that imbalance creates a constant draining short circuit in our creative lives. This short circuit feels like anxiety. It feels like pushing a boulder uphill. You have a brilliant idea, a clear intention. You've planted your seed with focused, masculine energy. Then the panic sets in. You immediately start digging it up to see if it's sprouting. You overplan every detail. You try to control every variable. You obsessively check for results, for any sign of external validation. You are pouring more and more masculine energy onto a process that now requires feminine energy. You are shining a harsh, analytical light into the dark room where the film is trying to develop. You are hammering the soil, demanding the seed grow faster. This frantic doing smothers the quiet being that is essential for incubation. Doubt creeps in. You wonder if the seed was good enough. You wonder if you planted it right. This doubt is a poison to the receptive feminine soil. The womb becomes hostile. It rejects the seed because the overriding feeling is one of lack, fear, and impatience. So you try harder. You hustle more. You apply more force, more will, more hammer. And you kill the very thing you were trying to create, leaving you exhausted and convinced that manifestation is a fantasy. It's a painful cycle. The truth is, the two principles feel like opposites, but they are designed to work in a perfect rhythmic dance. The rhythm of creation begins with the masculine act. Clarity, get absolutely unshakably clear on what you intend to create. Formulate the seed. This requires focus and decision, no ambiguity. Once the blueprint is complete, the most crucial step occurs: the handoff. The masculine principle must consciously and willingly release the seed to the feminine. This is an act of supreme trust. It's the moment of surrender, where you let go of the how and the when. You plant the seed in the fertile darkness of your subconscious mind, and you trust the process. You impress it upon your feeling nature until it feels real, then you let it go. The feminine principle then takes over the internal work of gestation. Your conscious mind's job, the masculine's new role, becomes that of a guardian. It must stand watch at the gates of your mind and protect the incubating seed from weeds of doubt, fear, and the negative opinions of others. Your role is to tend to the soil. You do this by cultivating the feeling of the wish already fulfilled. You align your energy with the reality you are creating. Imagine a sailor setting a course. Setting the destination is a clear masculine act of will. He points the rudder. But he does not control the wind or the currents. That is the vast, powerful feminine energy of the ocean. He must work in harmony with it, adjusting his sails, using the power that is given. He trusts the wind to carry him. He doesn't get out of the boat and try to push the ocean. This process of gestation has its own sacred timetable, and that timetable is completely non-negotiable. Every seed has its own divinely appointed incubation period. A radish seed sprouts in days. An acorn takes decades to become a mighty oak. A human life takes 9 months. You cannot rush this process. Demanding your great life's work manifest in a week is as absurd as demanding a baby be born in a month. It violates the natural law. The anxiety and impatience we feel is the masculine mind trying to impose its linear, clock-based time onto the cyclical, mysterious time of the feminine. The feminine principle operates outside of our calendar. It operates based on ripeness. The modern mind often hears this and recoils. It sounds like passivity. It sounds like an excuse for inaction. This interpretation misses the power of the feminine principle entirely. The nurturing of a seed is an intensely active process. It is happening on the energetic and subconscious planes. It is the work of aligning beliefs, healing old wounds, and rewiring your own vibration to become a match for what you've asked for. This is the hardest work there is. During this incubation, the masculine principle is not idle. It is listening. It is watching for signals from the feminine. These signals come as intuition, as inspired ideas, as synchronistic opportunities that appear in the outside world. When that inspiration strikes, the masculine's job is to act on it, instantly, without hesitation. This is inspired action, which feels effortless and flowing, compared to the forced grinding action born of fear and impatience. It's the difference between swimming with the current and fighting against it. But what if you've waited? What if the silence feels deafening and you're starting to believe the seed was dead on arrival? How do you check on the health of something you cannot see? You use a kind of mental sonogram. You check on it through feeling. The feminine communicates through the language of emotion and intuition. When the gestation is proceeding correctly, you will feel it. You'll feel a quiet confidence, a sense of peace. And knowing that it is done, you will notice small synchronicities, little winks from the universe, confirming you are on the right path. These are the first flutters of movement from the gestating idea. It's letting you know it's alive and well. If, however, your dominant feeling is one of lack, desperation, or anxiety, that is also a signal. It's a sign that the soil of your subconscious is filled with the toxins of limiting beliefs. The womb is not fertile. The seed is being starved of the emotional nourishment it needs. The work, then, is not to force the external outcome. The work is to heal the internal environment. You must tend to your own garden. You must uproot the beliefs of unworthiness. You must water the soil with feelings of gratitude and faith. You become the person who is energetically ready to receive the manifestation. You don't get what you want, you get what you are. The feedback loop is perfect. Your emotional state is the clearest indicator of whether your creation is thriving in the womb of the unseen or withering from a lack of faith. Ultimately, the law of gender reveals that manifestation is an inside job. It is the process of achieving an inner union, a sacred marriage between the masculine and feminine aspects of your own consciousness. The masculine mind projects the clear blueprint. The feminine subconscious builds it. The outer world has no choice but to conform to this completed inner creation. You are not trying to get something from the outside world. You are giving birth to a new reality from within yourself. The process of creation isn't just a technique for acquiring things. It is a path of self-completion. It forces you to become a whole being, one who has balanced the will to direct with the wisdom to receive, one who knows when to act with focused power and when to surrender with absolute trust. This is the great work. Every thought you hold is a seed. Your deep feeling nature is the soil. There is no off switch to this process. The harvest is guaranteed. Look around at your life right now. It is the perfect reflection of the seeds you have planted and the quality of the soil you have tended. The only question is, what will you begin growing today?